So I'm here to kind of help you get through all that and explain a few of the things that I have found that work for me. Okay. And the secret of the law of attraction in action is to live in the moment. Okay, where you let go of your desires and your ambitions and so forth. And that's kind of difficult, especially if you're like me. Because, you know, I've been a goal setter my whole life. And that means everything is A to B. You do this, you get that. Well, law of attraction in action, it's a little different. So, that's my bird, American falcon, and a princess. She always starts talking whenever I get to this level. But anyway, law of attraction in action requires that you find a way to stay in the moment. Okay? And that's kind of tough because the left side of the brain is very logical. Okay? And it's the ego. You know, everything's A to B. And the right side of the brain, it's creative. So that's our intuitive side. And that's what you want. Because you want to work smarter, not harder. Okay? And you can work as hard as you want. But until you turn that corner and you figure out where creativity really, really comes, you're at the mercy of so many other different things. So don't do it to yourself. Alright. So let's just kind of read through this. The secret of law of attraction. There we go. When you're living in the moment, you feel a wave of God, the Holy Spirit, come into your life. And it's pretty simple if I say it to you like this. Let go and let God. If you don't learn anything else in the next 10 minutes, let go and let God is probably the most important thing that you can do for yourself. Because when you do that, you will feel the wave of the Holy Spirit overcome you in your meditation and when you're working on your things. Keep in mind throughout your day that when you turn loose of bridling that control factor and you start to say, hey, I have 2 or 3 minutes to myself here, I'm just going to daydream. Let me tell you, God, creator of heaven and earth, and I'm going to put him in the first person as he, you know, a lot of people like it as energy, but God knows what you want. You know, he knows what you need. And, you know, you just gotta, you know, meditate on that. So when you get a little break during your day, you daydream. Allow yourself to daydream and get in that little groove. Alright. When you do your to-do list, it should not be written in stone. It should be like a guide, okay, of some of the things you can do and don't do. So don't get it all, you know, in stone that, hey, I have to do this every day. And do yourself a huge favor. Write your to-do list the night before you go to bed, okay? Because what happens is the subconscious, it never shuts down. It works 24 hours a day. And if you're writing those suggestions in, you know, on a sheet of paper like the way I do, I'll write probably 10, 15 things that I want to do. I know I'm not going to get them all done. Okay, some people do. Some people are in such flow with their lives, and I listen to their schedule and what they get accomplished. I'm amazed. I'm amazed at what they get done in a day. So, it can be done. So, let's see. One of the big things that I've learned recently through the scientists that talk about remote viewing, you'll see him, Simon, Dr. Simon, and what he's talking about in his stuff on YouTube, checking him out. He's really cool, and if not, come to one of my channels and hook yourself up. And one of the things that he talks about is that we spend so much time thinking and processing and working over and over, you know, what's my next step, that when we collect these 40,000 thoughts a day, what happens is at the end of the day we are so fatigued and stressed out by our thoughts. Whereas you notice, and I notice, like there used to be a TV deal called Fantasy Island, and when you work the Fantasy Island day, where you have just a general idea of what you want to accomplish with your to-do list. It's a guide, and then, you know, you make a commitment to Creator, hey, I am not going to be so anal about what I'm trying to do here, and I would appreciate all the help and guidance that you could give me. And so that really works out towards the end of the day, because you don't get so stressed out about every little move. All right, because our brains basically have to delete so much, and there's a little point here. At some point, we have to stop planning and take action to complete our manifestation, and that's true. You know, you can't just talk about it. And Jimmy Carter said, you got to stop crying and you got to start sweating. You got to stop talking and you got to start walking, and that's the truth. You know, Jimmy Carter, you know, whatever you think about him, those were his little sayings, and I just kind of always remember those little things. So, you know, it's kind of cool. All right. You know, try to let your day unfold. Try to refrain from forcing each moment into a preconceived idea. You have your notes, but you also have your daydreams, and those can be revisited at any moment when you get a moment during your menial task. So if I'm doing something that doesn't really require thinking, like driving from one place to the next, if you're a driver, if you're out on the road, you know, you can allow yourself to daydream about positive things that you want in your life. All right. Following the law of attraction insights creates an opportunity to visit present moment and try to stay there, removing all mental interruptions. So you're not going to worry about all the things that we worry about, okay? You're going to keep feeding into this soul, into your nervous system, healthy, positive, I feel good. Holy Spirit, you know, this is good. And at the end of the day, it's kind of like eating the right food all day long. You know, vegetables, vitamins, as opposed to junk food, lots of sugar, Coca-Cola, processed food, where you just feel irritable. So you're feeding your mind, which ultimately drives the machine, okay? Because the subconscious, again, does not shut down. All right. So, law of attraction in action is about flow of creativity, okay? And there is not a man on this planet that owns a business or is working at top-level management of a business that's not looking for a bigger, better deal in creativity. And believe me, it starts when you stop forcing and you just quiet your mind, you know, live and let go to God. All right. There you go. So, and you know, we use the word intuition because that's kind of a common word that everybody likes, and you know, it works for me, so cool. All right, learning to manifest with your mind can be confusing and difficult. You know, you're in a meditative state of mind, hypnosis, and blah, blah, blah. You know, you just have to keep working this. It's a new diet. It's a new way of life. So, it's going to take some time. And not everybody's going to get it right out of the gate. But if you apply yourself and you have faith and you stick with it, you're going to start seeing stuff, okay, in your meditative state of mind. Like I said, don't eat lunch. Take your lunch, eat it on your breaks, and go meditate. Reach out for that super consciousness. And what I've learned, and there's a lot of negativity about, you know, leaving the body, out-of-body experience, remote viewing. It is all in our mind. If you believe that there's negativity and it's going to enter in your mind, then that's what you're going to be visited by. And that's just the West versus the East. If you believe positive things are going to come into your mind, then positive things are going to be delivered, questions are going to be answered, and you're going to be a happier man or woman. Peace. My name is John Koscki. This is the Dr. Subconscious Show. Law of Attraction in action. Thank you so much. We're going to see you next week. Bye.